So, I Buildings Committee met on Tuesday, February 17th. Dennis Tatino discussed the bid proposal with Royal Carting and Peach Holdings, which will be brought forward for the meeting tonight for approval. Dennis also reviewed the budget timeline and the meetings being scheduled with members of the county legislature and the county's executive leadership team in preparation for the 26-27 operating budget. In addition, the budget meetings being scheduled PCC is also working with the county executive's office to arrange meetings to review the transformation project capital budget. Committee also discussed the PSO's request to establish a budget committee. Dennis reviewed the upcoming Board of Trustees retreat agenda with us. We went through that in good detail. And then the committee concluded the meeting by reviewing other important dates and reminders. That was our meeting.
Very much. Mr. Jeffrey, would you like to give your personnel community relations? Thanks. Now, or you can give an executive session.
Yes, we have work separation. And we received updates on collective bargaining agreements, and also legal updates. They're accepting, noting separation of the authorized record. That's basically that.
Moving on to liaison report.
Well, the foundation room is pleased to receive $25,000 from the Lewis Greenspan and Carol Trust for the Greenspan daycare, $21,000 from William Steinhaus to create the Dutchess County Executive or Steinhaus Scholarship. $20,000 from the Bruce and Muriel Phipps, and from Bruce and Muriel Phipps to create 2 restricted scholarships for engineering and nursing, $15,000 from an anonymous scholarship to create the William S. Waddell Jr. Memorial Endowed Scholarship, plus an additional $50,000 for the scholarship. $7,000 from Michael Odell, $2,000 to support TCC Cares, and $5,000 to be applied to the Michael Odell Scholarship. A gift in kind, a beach bonanza aircraft, sounds like a lot of fun. It's valued at $83,200 from Frank Algier, and donations totaling $62,000 increase year over year in 2024.
What did Frank and do? Each, what?
A beach bonanza aircraft.
So this is for our aviation and other program, I think.
It's the MP program. Support Save the Day for the Gala, which is March 28th, California Navy.
I like your idea. For the board's use.
It's a bonanza.
That's right. I like the name. It's like Beach Bonanza.
TCC Association, I don't believe that they're.
No, we didn't meet because you were.
No doubt.
We
And then,
met via Zoom. You didn't make it.
Oh, that's right. I didn't make it by Zoom, sorry.
Forgot to.
Yeah. Because I wasn't paying with it, that's right. It was good. But you joined didn't make it, I don't know.
I was there.
Oh,
Oh,
You were there.
it's all a fog.
Yeah.
February fog.
Yeah.
Were there any highlights you'd like to know of?
We just had to move forward with the resolution to move forward with the bank, give the
Oh, the
6-month
quick one.
extension, yeah.
So to put that in layman's terms, the bank is, we've gone away from being low hanging fruit to better hanging fruit now. So they're just pursuing a longer term relationship with us again, and so they're just giving us some extra time on which to refinance it. Time period. It's also been favorable rates. We had a really great experience with that bank, are still really, so that was good.
Want to trust about the local agent. Bank.
Yeah, she's a DCC grad, and so is very enthusiastic, and we had agreed to some terms with our former bankers with M&T, and she seemed amenable to improving upon those as well.
She offered to make the improvement.
Yes, so I think it's gonna be a really good relationship.
I thought the better spouse, so we finally see the light. being knocked around so much, it's so long by bankers and not, and they were also pleasant as they exited too.
Yeah.
Who's the alum?
What's that?
Who was the alum?
Phelan?
She was very nice, and that's her specialty is just schools, colleges, the bank. But she's a little bit more knowledgeable than the lessons we had, and they were trying to stress assets, basically.
Well, we were gonna have a discussion during the board meeting, but since we cannot legally start our board meeting until 6:30, since that's what it was advertised as. I'm gonna ask those who were at the National Legislative Summit. I unfortunately, was walking around in a cam walker, and as I said to Darren, knowing the layout of that, of those sessions, there's no way I could have done it, so I unfortunately haven't missed everyone this year, so those who attended can give an update. Brian, do you want to start as our student?
Well, I was the first one to arrive at BC. It was my first time at BC,
Oh, wow.
and boy, was it something. It was it was empowering. That's the biggest word that comes to my mind, which is empowering. Being able to speak to these high important officials that can actually make the changes that I want to see, and being able to advocate for myself and our students. Empowering. That's awesome. Did not get the sightsee as much as I would have liked. We were very busy. The day started at like 8 AM. We get back to the hotel around 9, 10 o'clock. But my last day, I did postpone my train a little bit. I was able to sightsee a little bit. Got to the museum, the Smithsonian. It was awesome. Was able to see the Washington Monument. Pretty cool, pretty cool.
You saw the monks
I
arrive.
did, I wasn't at the protest. They actually walked by the Smithsonian when I was in it. So I was able to see them walk parade by. It was cool.
Did you see the dog?
Dog.
Oh, the dog.
I can see the dog.
Aloka.
Aloha. Yeah,
There's the ocean.
but it was.
That's what I remember.
You want to talk about your experience with other students from across the country?
Oh, yeah.
Very cool, so. Meeting all these students from around the country, like, I was talking to a student from Oregon, a student from Florida, California, and I was actually able to connect to the Ulster County students and the Orange County students. It was a great networking experience. We have a pretty decent sized group chat that we're still in contact with. There's about 40 of us. So hopefully we won't be much. Great. Great. It was.
It makes you think about running for office in the future yourself.
I'm sorry.
It make you think about running for office in the future.
Absolutely.
Yay!
It was honestly a little life changing in more ways than one that I can describe, but it was a
Very good to hear.
Well, now he has a contact in Washington DC. Or, an internship or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that Pat Ryan was really impressed with the words,
I enjoyed talking.
as was
so much. It was
Mr. Lawler, so
awesome.
Ryan was our star.
And I was able to go to the state of the Hudson Valley as well on Sunday. I'll be able to introduce myself to that.
I heard you knew exactly who you were and like how he yelled at Michael.
I can always say, I don't know.
I can believe some county. Of course I mentioned being in his meeting with him. He dropped my name and I introduced myself to Pat Ryan. He's like, oh, I already know who you are. I'm like.
He told me, you already met, I was like, I forgot, I'm sorry.
Yeah, what a great opportunity.
Really.
So happy that
A lot
you.
of fun.
It's always good to see student trustees who really fully embrace the role. And I think when you started, what I said to you was take advantage of every opportunity that this presents for you. And you have done that. And I can't wait to see where your career goes because I think that you've really done a great job as the trustee. Thank you. Even our DC.
I almost had a life activity as well.
Oh,
So we had to walk from Penn Station to Grand Central and it took us up flights of stairs, downstairs, upstairs, downstairs, and I don't think I've told her that I have a heart condition and I've had issues. Yeah, so I get to the shuttle and she looks at me, I'm like red, and she's like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Okay now." But anyway, back to.
Where's the AED? I'm sorry, I would like.
That's all right. It's in the hallway.
It's in the wall, thank you.
Right by the steps.
I'll probably walk. My experience was really eye-opening in the sense of speaking, this was my second year going. In talking to various departments, Department of Energy, Department of Commerce. And some of the individuals that work there and just seeing their energy, seeing how they are interested in speaking to us as DCC or as community colleges coming to them. They're excited, they want to talk to you, they want to tell you everything that's going on and how we can relate to them and what they do. And to Ryan's point, I mean, these are the people that are creating these voluminous laws and policies that, you know, if you read it just right, it applies to us. And it's startling how much these policies do apply to us and our students and our faculty and our, you know, our livelihood, I guess I would say it that way, in terms of DCC. So getting that 2 minutes of time with them and letting them know that BCC does this, this, and that. We help students, we do this for the community. I really, you know, one individual was like, wow, thank you for letting me know that we're trying to implement some of these things to be long-term instead of some stopgap measures that we've been, you know, just patching it along. So again, some of the stuff that we were able to have those conversations with them, I really think that for them, it was productive, but for me to be able to see how we fit in the grand and bigger picture of this. I'm gonna call it a machine that creates these policies that are not just this year's policies. You know, we all focus on this year. The administration wants to do this or that. These are like ongoing 20, 30, 40-year policies that these individuals are the ones doing these changes and putting in certain key words in different statements or paragraphs make a world of difference. That was my.
Great, Sarah, your first time.
It was. Not my first time in DC, but my first time having a mission in DC. And so. It was extremely exciting. It's like being in Hollywood in my little. Former town supervisor brain. Because it was so exciting. So excited. Everybody who passed has got something to do with government. We got to the Capitol and. Alicia got us lost about 17 times. They were right. Yeah, we were just like, we'll follow you anywhere. And we would, you know, like, I think it's that way. But, you know, we just even walking down the hall and seeing all the names of the legislators rolling. And, the meetings that we had with both Ryan and Lawler, I thought were really productive. We were well prepared for those meetings by the 1 day of seminars we had. We had a 1 day training on Monday. I had gone early for another kind of training on Sunday. And it was all about the Pell Grant and this is what we need. This is how, these are all the little parts that go with it. Workforce Pell for people only getting 8 to 15 credits. So all these things are really new. And they're pushing that forward and they actually did a lot in the, unfortunately, it's called the Big Beautiful Bill by some. But in that bill is where the Pell Grant stuff lives. So they did manage to get that stuff in there. And now I believe we have the workforce and we have the extension of the Pell Grant. So that anybody can get that Pell Grant and go to college. So that was huge.
That was what we advocated for last year.
Yeah, and when
This is,
Yeah,
that was
that's
the
good.
focus of our.
Right, we went prepared to talk about it again, and that's what we did. So we were able to be really focused about it. And I mean, Brian told a great story about how he came to college, and there was another adorable student trustee from Ulster, right? Who told a great story. And Mike Lawler's wife works at
the admission.
yeah, at a community college, so he was already apprised of a lot of the things they were talking about, and. You know, we go into Pat Ryan's office and there's the fire chief helmet and the West Point certificate. Like, oh, where are we? You know, so it was thrilling, and then we got to go to Guapos. Even hooks us up with the best Mexican food in DC.
We, so far that we've.
So far.
So far that we've explored.
I didn't get that one.
Said, I would.
It was fabulous. So,
We also tried the best that you.
The aviation one.
Yeah.
what was that called? It was on the corner. I can't remember.
Not a kind of, but it was good.
It was good. Yeah. So, but I left there feeling like, you know, that was an extraordinary. Once in a lifetime experience.
You go get an extra one once in a lifetime.
No, at least twice. I read it.
Sarah wants to make sure that DCB has appropriate swag. She texted me on Sunday when she got there and it's like, why do we not have apparel like all of these other colleges?
Oh, yeah, Dallas Community College had like their own, like every day they had an outfit, I'm like.
Oh, that's it.
Every day, it was a sweater.
No, but I
one,
think we can work on.
I mean, live in Dallas, it's the Trustees place ever living, including New York City.
This
This isn't a joke. I used to call friends saying, I think they wear the blazer and the t-shirt with that big belt, there's a grocery store. That's not a joke, the grocery store.
Well, they did have a lot of swag.
So, Sarah wants to be sure that we up our game for next
Yeah,
year.
we got a little slower than that.
Like, we do not have the role.
You bought an umbrella that you hid because you're embarrassed. Just saying, like you had it down here. It was hiding, you're like, I've been alone.
Joy, am I tasking you with that?
Come on, Joy, buy this better.
Dr. Jordan was really excited about those umbrellas. Even out of nowhere, he's like, where are the umbrellas? I need the umbrellas.
Gotta step it up.
So when you got to be, like, covers them all in his office.
Yeah.
You were in the hallway last year, there was an emergency meeting on the California fire. So as we're standing there in the hallway, Alicia right here with me, Maxine Waters comes up and, you know, she's like this big old wig on. Something, said, Representative Waters, it's Michael Dupree from Dutchess Community College, and she goes, keep on advocating like that, and so I introduced her, and they're like, how'd you just do that? I said, for political, you can talk to anybody. Exactly. He knows this, you know this, they like an audience, just go up and say hi, they love it. I like that. Yeah, all of it.
I wanna reiterate one thing, is because this wasn't just advocacy.
It's a priority.
Yeah, that's it.
Network.
When it comes to money and funds, whether it's for students or grants or what have you. But it was about advocacy around policy. When we met with the director of the science office for the Democrats, that conversation was all about policy. When we met with folks from the Urban Institute and New America, it was about discussing policy and how we as community college trustees and leaders, faculty and students can influence policy that happens. So it was powerful.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, someone felt the need to send a priority message. That did not need to be. Anything else on the Sounds like it was a great time and really was wonderful.
I really enjoyed bonding with all the other trustees as well. It was really nice to interact with everybody.
Yeah. Like you actually get to know the people that you spend this time with ever. Yeah. Love it. Is there anything further this workshop meeting?
You know, that when you look for resolutions, adopt the agenda, we should have some.
I have a motion to exit.
So, second.
On favor? Aye. We can start our board meeting in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. That clock is not right, I would like to point out. It's not accurate, it is 6:28.
How white you are.
It's good.
When I went for the first time, bartenders was Paul, and they all tattooed it up, et cetera, and so I started chatting with her. I said, so you from Wallen? She goes, I'm from a little town called Hyde Park, and I went, huh? New York? And she goes, yeah, and I said, did you go to FDR? She goes, how do you know that? I said, you're a lady president? She goes, yes, I was. Anyway, I said, can I get you back? I was going to hire you to come to Hyde Park, be a bartender. She said, unless I have her husband, no. Just kidding.
Years of always. I feel like I need like the good job with It is 6:30. I'm gonna call our February meeting to order. Go ahead, please call the roll.
Mr. Frank Costello.
Here.
Mr. Stephen Castle.
Here.
Ms. Dara Clapp.
Here.
Mr. Michael Dupree.
Here.
Ms. Angela Clemson.
Here.
Ms. Lisa Garden. Mr. Ebus Guzman.
Here.
Mr. Michael McCormick.
Here.
Ms. Linda Pratt. Mr. Ryan Shuck. Foreign president.
Thank you very much. We will watch our pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next is gonna be the approval of the agenda, under other business, number 1 and 1A. We have that discussion during the workshop session, so tonight got a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. No one signed up for public comment. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from January? So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. Moving on to committee reports. Anything from academic and student affairs, we canceled the that's what I thought. Board policy, Mr. Guzman.
Board policy, we met on February 18th. Dr. Rogers reviewed the proposed changes to the posthumous degree policy. The college received guidance from the State University of New York regarding its posthumous degree policy. The memorandum included specific criteria in which each SUNY campus policy must align to ensure compliance with SUNY requirements. The college must revise its current policy and obtain approval of the updated version by the board tonight. Dr. Rogers also reviewed a copy of the draft board action report. This report outlines the implementations and further impact of the board of trustees 2024 to 2028 board action plan, which was adopted in April 2024. The board will dive deeper into this report in its February 28 board of trustee retreat. And we went over some reminders and important dates coming up. So at this point, I bring you resolution 2026-38. Now for the following resolution and move to its adoption. Be it resolved that based upon the recommendation of the policy committee and reviewed by the board of trustees, that the revised posthumous degree policy which is attached and shall be made part of the official minutes of this meeting is hereby approved, and be it further resolved that the policy shall be effective immediately, and be it further resolved that the board reconsider this policy again within 5 years or earlier should it determine revisions are needed prior to the scheduled date.
First, second, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed, resolution carried. Going on to finance and facilities, Mr. Caswell, you gave your update during the workshops, and moving on to your one agenda.
Right, so I have one resolution here tonight, the resolution number 2026-39. I offer the following resolution and move its adoption. Whereas the college issued a request for mini bids under New York State Office of General Services Centralized Contract Award number 22760, contract number PS 915AA for recycling and trash removal services. Now therefore be resolved that the Board of Trustees of Dutchess Community College hereby award the contract for recycling and trash removal services to Benici Holding Company, doing business as Royal Carting Service of Hopewell Junction, New York, for the period commencing February 27, 2026 through February 28, 2027, in accordance with the pricing submitted in response to the mini bid and the terms and conditions of OGS contract award number 22760. And be it further resolved that expenditures under this award shall be made in accordance with the applicable OGS contract pricing, which shall be subject to available appropriations, and be further resolved that the president of the college or his designee is hereby authorized to execute any documents and take any action necessary to effectuate this resolution.
Second.
Any discussion or amendment?
And so I would like to propose an amendment to this. I'd like to strike in the first resolve, I'd like to strike the portion of the sentence that says, for the period commencing February 27, 2026 through February 28, 2027. Remainder of the statement. Sentence.
So you want to change?
I want to write that sentence,
So
that's referenced, I have a comment after that.
Can we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion on the amendment.
Yeah, so I want to keep this resolution simple and strike reference to specific start and stop dates and just allow this resolution to reference the contract award in its reference number, with the state and just have that rule.
Because it says March 2026 through February 28, 2029.
Exactly. So this.
So I want the resolution
To match.
That's the-
so,
Good catch.
so.
All those in favor of the amendment first? Aye. I say aye, thank you. Any further discussion on the resolution as amended? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution carries. Mr. Dupree, you already gave your update during the workshop meeting. You have no resolutions to see. Moving on to the report of the student trustee. All right.
Campus is very cold this week. Students are warming back up and getting into the rhythm of the season. The STEM and MASC blood drive went really well. We were hoping for 20 units and ended up with 32, which was a great turnout. The Valentine's Day flower sale went really well too, and one thing we noticed was how many students tried to pay electronically. It's clear that's where their expectations are now. The snow tubing trip had to be canceled because, ironically, of the snow. And we're talking to another captain and see if we can get it rescheduled. DAB held a karaoke night with about 25 students, and they're already working on their next event, Bingo Night, on April 16th. Student activities also held a student parent mixer. Not as many people came as registered, but the parents who did show up had some good conversations. It gave them space to talk about the reality of balancing school and raising kids. We're planning another one early in the fall to be building with those connections. The Gift of Life will be back on March 5th. Everything but the Mine will be at Fishkill on the 11th and on the 12th. And the Moulin Rouge trip has 1 ticket left. Earlier this month, I was in Washington, D.C. for the National Legislative Summit. I met with Senator Gillibrand, Congressman Lawler, and Congressman Pat Lyne, and a staffer from Senator Schumer's office. I shared my story working for years before I could afford to come back to school, and talked about the community colleges actually mean for students like me. Being able to sit in front of those rooms and put a real face to the issues about what they talk really mattered. It reminded me that I'm not just speaking for myself, I'm speaking up for the thousands of our students who don't get that chance. And last month, I went to the Living Donor Symposium. That event hit a little bit differently, as I am a living donor. There were speakers talking about their experiences, the science, and the myths around donation. I shared my own story as well, and it made the room feel connected in a way that's hard to explain. It wasn't just people saying thank you, it was people recognizing how much a single donation or a single opportunity could really change someone's life. And that's all.
Thank you. Moving on to my report. So DCC and Stony Brook University have launched a joint admissions agreement through the Bridges to Baccalaureate program. Under this partnership, eligible DCC nursing graduates can seamlessly continue their education and earn a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing at Stony Brook School of Nursing. This agreement also includes grant funding to support DCC nursing tutors while students complete their RN. Interest is already strong. More than 8 second-year students, 16% of the class, have notified Stony Brook of their intent to enroll. This is important because nurses in New York State now have to earn their BSN within 10 years of their license. So this is a great way to kind of seamlessly continue their education without a gap, and obviously easier to keep going than to start and stop again. This fall, the DCC pantry distributed about 13,000 pounds of food, surpassing the prior record of 11,900 pounds in the fall of 24. What I think is really important is that this includes over 4,100 pounds of fresh produce from community partners and local farms, along with thousands of additional items from our pantry programs. The pantry also gave away 16,348 very specific individual items of all types, including backpack, stationery, and hygiene products. Save the date, this coming Thursday, BCC will host the State of the College address. If you have not already RSVP'd, please do so. The DCC online brand is getting attention thanks to work of the Marcom team, who recently took over management of the tool. Our LinkedIn community now sees close to 25,000 followers. It's very exciting. Frank updated us previously on donations to the DCC Foundation, which are very strong. And then to kind of talk about what Ryan brought up previously, on February 2nd, there was a Living Donor Symposium, and what was nice is that Dr. Rogers did a great job coordinating it. There were a lot of the regional hospitals who have transplant programs were able to participate. And then Ryan spoke about his experience. I spoke about my experience, not in the living donor world, but in the deceased donor world, and kind of the journey of bringing patients through the heart a transplant process, and talked about some of my former patients and the work that they had for the event. Joya spoke, and I think everyone to tears about the journey that she is currently going through. What was really nice is that Dr. Marat Bashawi from Emory University, who is a heart-lung transplant surgeon, joined us virtually. Marat is a DCC mom. So bringing that attention was really important, because that is kind of, if you are familiar with medicine, that is like the cream of the top, is when you're able to do heart lung. There are very, very few physicians in the country that have that training. And the fact that he is from our program and got to start here and talks about the professors here. And if you look at his CV, he still lists things from DCC here, which is so special. And I know that Dr. Jordan has been in communication with him and, worked to build that relationship. So that's it that I have. Moving on to the board of the president. Thank you.
So I want to start by thanking our trustees who joined myself and Risha on the National Legislative Summit journey from February 8th to the 11th. Thank you for being there. You all heard the wonderful reports, but I want to make sure that I express my thanks and appreciation to you for your broad and full engagement with the work that you do as trustees, so thank you. You heard about the state of the college address that will happen on Thursday, February 26th at 4 p.m., beginning at 4 p.m. The theater. The format will be such that I will begin with some opening remarks. And then we will move to an interview conversation format where I will interview 3 students and they will interview me in return. So that should be really interesting. Among those students will be our student trustee.
Your report, Ryan.
Maka Arnold, another student, will be joining us, and Adrian Perez Sanchez will be joining us as well as the 3rd student. So I really look forward to that exchange, and hopefully weather will cooperate and all will go well. I also want to let everyone know that on March 8th, Sunday, March 8th at 4 o'clock, I've been invited to be the keynote speaker for the MLK Junior Day event at Bethel Missionary Baptist Church in Wappinger. So if you're looking for me at 4 p.m. on Sunday, March 8th, you know where to come find me, and I hope I'm sober enough after the Chamber of Commerce gala. But it's a dry event. Yeah, it's a dry event. I like that. In addition, and finally, I want to shout out for College Curriculum Committee for its achievements this past year. The committee is led by Andrew Reeser, who is a faculty member in the History, Government, and Economics department here at the college. But among their contributions this year has been to the implementation of a new civic discourse core competency as part of the revised information literacy core competency from SUNY. In addition, they've created the new health care science AS degree program here at BCCC. They've modified the air conditioning and refrigeration certificate that includes customer service and engagement business 113. They have created a new HVAC AAS degree program that will launch this fall. And they've created 3 new HVAC micro-credentials as well that will be launched this fall. In addition to modifying the electrical technology AAS degree program, they've done the deactivation and discontinuation of the information management AS degree, as well as some courses. So they've been hard at work and deserve for applause. So join me in applauding them, though they're not here, but publicly demonstrating our appreciation for each of them. That's my report.
Thank you very much. Just wanna recognize, Brendan Waller, who is our continuing liaison. And you are, did I read it correctly? You're the Budget, Finance and Personnel Chair. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So we will be working closely with you in that role, and I think that your participation in these meetings every month will certainly be valuable to that process. And certainly bring you up to speed. You already know the people that you're gonna be hearing from and having those conversations with. So thank you so much for being here and continuing your commitment to BCC.
Thank
you. Is there any further business this evening? Okay, seeing none, our next meeting will be March 24th. That is also the night of our student trustees, our student leaders dinner. So mark your calendars for that. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, get home safely, everybody.
Where will you reschedule?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think we want it. That's what we did in.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's.
That was very fast.
Yes.
It's business.
No. Don't even, you got it.
You guys have to.